This is Just AMZN on Thursday, February 25th, 2021. I've got the chart set up on the 5-minute and on a couple of options uh, going into 10:15 Central Time today. And so I just want to kind of talk through the setup for the first hour and 45 minutes of the day. So we opened up with a gap down below most of this kind of triangle area that we were talking about on Wednesday. So gap down here, and basically from all of this, it was a bearish retest gap. Like it gapped down. Actually, you know what? I don't remember if this closed. Actually, it closed up. So it was probably a bearish gap and go. Yeah, sorry, bearish gap and go like on an hourly. Gapped inside of the candle. It was a hammer candle, and so gap down and immediately got bought up, just roaring higher, and came right up into the yellow line again. Actually got a little bit of a close up here, and then inside candle, almost inside, actually wick down a little bit, and then a nice upper wick and sold off from there. So that was the last time we touched the yellow line from here yesterday, and then got into it today. And it worked as resistance again, just like it did 3 times yesterday. So you kind of knew that could happen. Got back below the 21 and came right back down to about the same low here. This is really a really nice low to be buying off of. If there was more support in here, there wasn't really much support there. It broke through that yesterday. And then a little bit later, we'll get to this, it broke through that and put in a new low, and looks like more bears were getting in here. The volume is a little bit higher on this candle as opposed to the volumes here from the previous 20 minutes. And then so back here though, it ran up nicely, put in a really nice inverted hammer here, and then pretty much got back below the 21 again. So really quick to get above the 21, put in an evening star reversal off of the yellow line, got below the 21, inverted hammer off the 21 again, and we're just kind of breaking down again. And then we put in a new low on the day here, breaking below these lows. And then it doesn't go straight down because it retested. This is where things get interesting. Really nice stair step. The candles got much smaller. The volume just plummeted. Like each candle, each of these 5-minute candles, the volume was just disappearing. And that's when things got really interesting. We're below the 21. The edge is bearish. We've put in lower highs. We've broken the low. We've got declining volume and a really pretty clean stair step here. The edge is not bullish at this point. Oh, and we're below the yellow line, right? Go bearish. So easy, just go bearish, right? But emotions get in there and think, oh, it's going to come up here again. I'm going to get stopped out. Okay, well, whatever. Everything's really pointing to bearish. So I'm going to step into some candles here, and we're going to switch over to the options. There you go. One big candle, really big candle. Volume really didn't pick up. We're really close to the low that we put in earlier. And it's like, okay, maybe this was kind of trapping, and maybe it's a bull trap. You're trying to convince yourself like what's happening here. And then it goes a little bit lower. And you got the squeeze going, it goes a little lower still. And then you got a really much lower wick. And it's like, oh, wait, it just made a lower low on the day. 20 minutes of selling. Maybe you'll get a little bit of buying, just keeps on going. Just keeps on going. So this was the best candle to get in bearish, even just one of those trades to get in saying, okay, I'm going to get into this bearish. If it goes bearish, great. If it goes bullish, I'm going to lose an R. But you got to go into the trade thinking you're going to lose an R anyway. So fast forward the rest of the day, we just kept going lower. Oh, look, that red line's back. Hey, we actually touched the red line again. Yeah, I know. It's keeps coming back into play. So we got down there again. we're into the red line again. Go back and watch the video from back over here, like the 11th, because that's I think when I drew it in, or the 12th. So from almost 2 weeks ago, I drew in this red line, and it has been a target multiple times. It was a target on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, we were back up at the yellow line. And now today, Thursday, we're down here and we touch both. And it's just like, when is this actually going to go bullish? And it just doesn't seem like it wants to. So anyway, let's zoom back in on the 5 minute and let's go back to this point in time. So now we all know it went bearish, right? So here is the same, setup at, it was right at 10:15. Sorry, right here. So this candle is right at 10:15 Central Time. 10:15 Central Time. This is the 3200 call. At this point, it's like, okay, this is pretty close to a low here. I mean, if it pulls down a little bit more, put in a low at 565. The candle right here is closing at 625. So, I'm not really comfortable buying like 6 by 5, but if it's going to go, I'm going to miss it because, if it's going to go bullish, I mean, if it's going to go bullish, I'm going to miss this, so obviously we know it goes bearish, so it breaks down here. And it just keeps going down, right? So this was the candle that broke down, got a little bit of a retest here. But if you were going off of, a bearish break of one of these candles to go look at a put, like this is very telling. This was your kind of your warning shot, making a lower low on the call. We were looking at calls the other day where it was really holding a low. This is making slightly lower lows for the first, hour and a half of the day. And then it starts to break down and it just, it's almost a line. Let's see if I can draw. So that's, and then it goes a little steeper. So there you go. Pretty good drawing. All right. So fast forward this and yeah, it just kept going. Didn't really give you much else. I guess this would be the only thing to retest. This didn't really retest. Okay, so let's go look at the put and see what you could have done. So same thing. Here's 10:15. Here's the put. This price is just about where this low was yesterday. It put in some lower lows because we had those, upper retests into the L line, and then this one didn't quite get there, but was a nice inverted hammer. And so here we are right now. If this goes, if we know the stock goes bearish, so if this starts moving up, then what's the entry? I mean, you could get in like 9 by 8, but that's a stop right down here. But we know the next candle just goes. So you probably were not getting into this 9 by 8. Probably after this candle happened is when you're looking at, oh, I should have gotten in, and you're looking for where could I get in, and it just keeps going, just runs, right? So that didn't work. That had a really nice run. It went way up. So let's switch over. If we miss it, let's go out a little bit further. So let's look at the 3050 put. We'll set it up at 10:15, and we're going to see what happens. So here is, here's 10:15 right here. All right. Put in a low at 210. It's just under 3. It's not too bad. Okay. It crosses through 3. And this one is going to be much slower to get going, right? So it goes up to 4. Oh, it's holding out right here. This is your rest right here. It made an inside candle, get in 4 by 3 because this thing's gone. That's what you could have done. You missed it on the 3100 put. You didn't see anything that told you it was going to retest anymore on the call. And this option, you had a couple of places you could have gotten in on a retest. First one being right here. Nice, quiet, 9 contracts traded, just getting in. Just get into it. 9 by 3, I'm sorry, 4 by 3, 9 contracts is what I was thinking. Getting in 4 by 3 and just holding on for the ride. And this had a really nice run up. With it being a Thursday, looking for 4 R's would have been a target at 8. It clearly got there for 8. Pulled back a little bit and then kept going. Let's see. Let's see, that was right in here. It kept pushing lower. I really wanted to get into the red line right here. It didn't do it. I thought, okay, there's a chance it's not going to get there. Put a nice double bottom here. Sure enough, then it rolls over. And just like this breakdown here, put a lot of bearish candles in a row. It did that here too. A lot of bearish candles in a row. And then still didn't get there. It's like, okay, it's going to get there, right? Sure enough, right before, 30 minutes before the close, it tags that line. Doesn't get a close below it, but gets right into it. This was even a really nice retest here. So back here, this was pulling back. didn't really have a clean level there, but let's go out a little further and see what you could have done with that retest. 3,000. Why do I have that on there? Oh yeah, that was from 3,000. I was looking at that on Tuesday, right? Yeah, I drew that low in. There you go. It came back into the low that I had drawn in from Tuesday. Now it didn't work. It worked nicely there. 4x3 here. Didn't quite make it up to 4, up to 8, up to 8 for a 4-hour trade. And then this would have wanted to pull back, nice little double bottom, buy right at 3, or get in at 4 with a stop at 3 on its way back up. So that's interesting. I forgot I had that one. Drop that one down. So that became relevant again today too, and we'll see. Might be relevant again on Friday. But just remember that when these start moving and you missed it, either just get in, as it's moving down, get in when it's got the momentum. So the momentum was it's below the 21, it's holding the 21, it's staying below the 5. You've got all the signals saying bearish, just get in the trade. And if you miss the entry on one option, go to a different option and just look to get in. And so, 3,100 call, 3,100 put, this would have moved pretty quickly. It had a couple of small candles right in here, but probably would have been stopped out doing 9x8. Probably would have been stopped out right at 795, and then it ran without you. And I don't know that you would have held on all day, but this red line, I mean, that was a nice target. I was talking about that yesterday, and I don't remember if I mentioned it 2 days ago, but definitely yesterday I was talking about the red line down here. What would happen? And obviously today was not a place to be buying at 3,100. It's been a nice support, but we definitely broke there. And this really just starts to look more and more like what we did back here. It feels like we had this breakout here that feels like what we just did, and we had much further to pull back. We pulled back, made some new lows that were actually new lows compared to like back here, and then we just went higher. And that was the March pullback last year. So I mean, if we pull back, the last place that I want to see a pullback to is where I've got this red line, and that is right at, come on, it's not letting me highlight the line, 29.30. So 29.30, the reason I got that drawn in is we had a bullish gap and go, and we've never had a close below it. So the last time we closed below it was the prior day to it, and that was July 2nd of 2020. So we opened up, we wicked down, we wicked down, we wicked down, we traded down but closed above, and then we didn't quite wick down enough. I think that's kind of where I see us retesting next, if we do keep going bearish, like strongly bearish. I would see us coming in here, getting a little bit of a bounce, people thinking it's a place to buy. Maybe it comes back up into the moving averages, which we just passed through the 200 simple moving average today. I think it was today. The 100 was up here. I think the 200 was right around here, and it went down a little further. So yeah, and we've got the squeeze going. I think we could really keep going some more. We're below a lot of lows. People are getting trapped. People are getting worried. And it's Amazon. It's like, this is what's been doing all of our deliveries through all these times. But yeah, the chart doesn't have to move with the sentiment of, with what the company's doing. So anyway, here we are. We're above the red line. I was looking after hours, and last I checked, we were going to be opening below. So let me zoom this back out. If we open in the morning like we're trading after hours right now, then we will be further down here to open, in which case this could be a resistance, and it could do something opposite of this, where we could just trade below for a little bit and then see if we can rally back up to the yellow line. So we'll see what happens. Let me see if I can turn on extended hours real quick, just so we can check the price. Extended hours. And behind there. Okay. So yeah, right now we are down here, right around 30, 40, somewhere in there, like that. So I turn this back off because that messes with where the lines, the angled lines are showing up. And there we go. Okay, so 30 is right here. So that's not too far below, but it would be below. That'd be a bearish retest gap if we do end up gapping down here. I would expect or look for it to rally for the first half hour or so. Similar to the rally we got, whoa, that was weird. Similar to the rally we got today, it just only lasted for 10 minutes. I thought there was a chance we could get a little bit of a stronger rally, push up through this. This triangle just has been working really well. So if you don't have it in your chart, there's the numbers, you can draw it in. And here's the numbers on the red line, and these things have been working. So hope they're helping you. Hope this helps. This is Justin AMZN. Thanks.